Hey there, Maple Avenue. So this week, as I said before, we are going to be looking at Magna Carta, and this is our learning target for the week, where you will be able to compare and explain the ideas of the Magna Carta to those of the U.S. Constitution. So I'm going to show you what activities here are going to help you explain what the Magna Carta is. You should be able to use some academic vocab terms from the primary source and analyze the U.S. Constitution and the Magna Carta. So here is some of that definition of the first success criteria of explaining what the Magna Carta is. And here we see there's two definitions. I actually just Googled these definitions from Webster's and put them in here. And this is just a very base definition of what it is. So it's 1215. The English barons, who are nobles, are going to be forcing King John to sign this document. And the reason why they did this was they felt like King John was overstepping his bounds as king. Um, you folks will find out what those bounds were within the video within Ed Puzzle. And what the Magna Carta does is part of this second definition here, where the document consisting of a fundamental guarantee of rights and privileges. So these are the things that we as people will have. They are unalienable rights, things that we, because we are a citizen, we have, right? So here's that Ed Puzzle video I was talking about. I also just put the link to the YouTube video there as well. I do want you to utilize this. It's a good resource if you forget something, and it summarizes some of the main points of the Magna Carta within it, based within this video here. Now, here's the big part. This is going to be the most challenging aspect of this lesson. So it says Magna Carta and U.S. Constitution. We're going to look at three specific ideas within the Magna Carta and U.S. Constitution, and both of them relate. You're going to be writing your response on the assessment piece that's within Schoology there. And to model this, actually, you folks will only be doing two of these because we're going to do the first one here together, or I'll show you how to do the first one as a model. And you can come back to this at any time to review what do I need in this. So here's the first one. The first idea, and this is how I set up all of them, is going to be from the Magna Carta. And I have that listed right here. And the second one is from our Constitution. And I put here specifically where I got it. So our Constitution piece is actually from the Bill of Rights here in Amendment 4. That's a Roman numeral for 4. The first one says, the king will not proceed against the accused or send others to do so except according to the lawful sentence of his peers and according to common law. And the second one says, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed. Now, it's a few things that we need to first look at. I can almost guarantee that most of us are probably thinking right now, what in the world is a common law? Well, let's look it up. Common law. Boom. So it says it's a part of English law that is derived from a custom and judicial precedent rather than statutes, or is the body of English law adopted and modified separately by these different states of the U.S., things of that sort. So what do we know common law to be? It's basically, it's a law that has been set by the courts in a past jury or a past trial. Now, another word that you might have to look up would be impartial, and that is right here. impartial jury. To be impartial is to not have a bias. So how do I see here, what is the similarity between these two passages? Well, I wrote it here. And this is what your answer should sort of look like. The things that I have highlighted are direct quotes, actually, from the two passages of the primary sources here. So I said, these documents both share the idea of a trial by jury. This is seen in the Magna Carta by the phrase, except according to the lawful sentence of his peers and according to common law. Common law deals with the judicial branch or the courts. This idea is similar to the U.S. Constitution because in Amendment 4 it states, all criminal prosecutions in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury. Here, the similarity is that they both give the people a trial by one's peers or a jury. So as you folks are writing your responses, this is sort of the format that you are aiming for here. Here I say, I make a claim to one, what is the similarity? I show it within my two responses, my two quotes, and I kind of summarize it here at the end, saying that they both give a trial by one's juries. And this is what you will do for the other two examples from the Magna Carta and U.S. Constitution. So the second one, I'm just going to read through them here. It says, earls and barons shall not be immersed save through their peers and only according to the measure of the offense. So you might have to look up the word immersed or earl or baron, all right, to understand the meaning of this quote. Also, and in the U.S. Constitution, it says excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. You might have to look up what the word inflicted means. In our third example, no sheriff nor bailiff of ours, nor anyone else, shall take the horses or carts of any free man for transport, unless by the will of that free man. That's from the Magna Carta. The U.S. Constitution says, no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. So in example 3, there is a similar idea between these two quotes, or these two pieces from primary sources, and there's a similar idea within these two. Your goal is to find those and to write about what is the similarity between the two. And the example here is from the first one that we did here together in class. If you folks have any questions, please feel free to email me. Also, when you're doing this, you're going to be putting these responses in Schoology. It will be titled the Magna Carta and U.S. Constitution Examples. All right, thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing your answers.